Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Generational Wrestling Podcast. As always, is yours truly, the 28-year-old piece of gold franchise, aka the Showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka Tuco Kimber in the building, bro. What's going on?
Man, it's Wednesday. We don't have any dynamite tonight, but you know what we got to do, man. We got to come to talk to the people, man. It's the people show, man. We got to shoot from the hip, man, and just talk things wrestling, man, and shoot the shit for a little minute, man. So, we doing what we do best, man. Other than that, man, franchise, my brother, what's good with you, man? What was your day like today, man?
Man, my day was cool, man. Just ran into a couple of Olympic gymnasts and whatnot. You feel me? Now, here to talk this thing we call wrestling. Just seeing some shit on my Facebook about John Gruden. Boy, that man is mean. My boy, man. Hey, look, it's certain people, man, you can look at. You can be like, mm-hmm. And now that I see this, I'm like, mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, boy, John Gruden, boy. Hell no. What's done in the dark comes to the light, and you got to see it through, my guy. But anyway, man, other than that, man, I'm good, bro. Dude, lots of interesting news in the world of professional wrestling. But isn't it always a lot of interesting news?
It has been lately. Lately, it's been for the past few months, it's just been something either from one company to another. It's been something, man. So it's like, what is it now? What's going on now that's so popping in the news?
Well, one of the rumors is that Keith Lee has officially had his name changed to Bearcat Lee. Another rumor swirling around the rumor mill in professional wrestling on the WWE side of things is that Karrion Kross is yet again to receive another character change. Now, Tuco, man, I want to talk to you about Bearcat Lee. I can't even believe I just said that. I'm cursing right now. And Karrion Kross, dude, look. Karrion Kross, I love my guy. That's my dude. I'm gonna get to Lee in a second because I really want to kind of talk about him. But Karrion Kross, bro, a classic case of it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, you sit up here, you change this gimmick, it didn't work. Now there's talks about you trying to change it again or add to it or whatever you're gonna do. I'm just gonna sit here and tell you this, man. Any faith that I did have, the very little bit of faith that I had of him having any type of main roster success in the immediate future, that's beyond going out the window. That is past the island of any type of relevancy for me. Tuco, man, what are your thoughts on Karrion Kross? And I want to put this out there. I want to preface it by saying this. A lot of people will say Karrion Kross is bland. A lot of people say that all he is an entrance and muscles. He doesn't really have any charisma. He isn't the best promo cutter. He really is nothing more than what Adam Cole said back in their feud in NXT. And to a degree, it looks to be true, but I think at the same time, a lot of it seems intentional on WWE's side. They had the Frankenstein syndrome where, everybody's got to just, they got to make everybody into this big monster and they got to try to perfect it, and everything has to be of the exact creation of Vince and WWE. And to me, I feel like Karrion Kross, even though he is still Karrion Kross from NXT, they stripped down his entrance. They took away Scarlett. The little minute details that you don't really realize was as important as they are to his character until they're not there anymore. How do you feel about Karrion Kross? How much of this is Karrion Kross's fault not getting over? And then how much of this is WWE's fault?
I'm going to say this is WWE's fault because they never handled it the right way from the beginning. Leo, what it do?
My guy.
Because they didn't handle it the right way. And also, we know what we see from a person that is doing great in NXT is not what we'll see from them on the main roster. So even though they're trying to say he's the same guy, you've had Jeff Hardy beat him in the worst ways possible, and then you've done nothing with him, and then he's been suspect. You've made him suspect. All right. And he's going out there like a good soldier and doing what he's told, which is why I don't really want to hold too much to him, because he has no cachet to really say anything. Like, he has no cachet to really argue. He's kind of got to take this to kind of come up. And it may be the kind of old school way of doing things because Vince is running stuff. But we know Cross is a little bit better than what they've been producing. I mean, one of the reasons why people liked him in NXT was the way that they were portraying him, the way that, you know, he came out to the ring, the way his matches were. They weren't the greatest of matches, but when you put the right person in the ring with them, they looked good enough. What's going on, Joseph? And you want, man, you want to see him do great, but if they don't have an idea, if they don't truly have they like him, but do you really know him? Do you really know how to get this guy over, or do you? Or I don't know, man. But I don't blame Killian Cross, because one, you put him out there, and you put him out there without his wife. Like, where's Scarlett? Scarlett is a part of his aura. Scarlett is a whole part of who he is, and you totally just wipe her off the face of the earth. So Scarlett no longer around. That's messed up, because that was part of the interest that I actually liked about him, and she kind of had that mind control over him. So that made things interesting. But and if you were worried about Karrion Kross talking a lot, she did the talking for him. And she was good at it. So it was like you had a manager who can manage a client and get them. So it's like I wish they would kind of go back to that old school way of doing things. Like, if you got somebody that's an interesting character as a manager, to where the character is getting over, and Cross, he is getting over, why not roll with all of that? Why not let all of that go? But instead, man, we got what we got. And because we've already seen this so many times over, people have just automatically lost interest in it. I mean, every time an NXT guy comes up, they look horrible. And then you want to ask me, well, what about Keith Lee? I'm not calling him I'm not even calling him Keith Lee. That is his name. That is who he is. Keith Lee. Again, another guy, you brought him up. You kind of buried him the first time because you had him lose DQ. He lost his first match via DQ because of Drew McIntyre. But it was understandable, because it was in the middle of Drew and Orton's rivalry. All right. So it was like, okay, you kind of understood why he got the DQ loss, because Drew was getting back at Orton. It wasn't like Drew was mad at Keith Lee, but that kind of drew an interesting story between Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. But then also we ended up getting Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, which was great. That was like, and he won. Like, oh my God, you actually let this dude look legit. Yes, thank you. This is what we've been. Thank you, Vince. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. And then that quickly ended, and partly because he was dealing with some other stuff. But before he was dealing with that other stuff, they quickly ended it. So we've seen this too many times over, where there's very little hope, patience for anything when it comes to these guys coming up. But now, because the no competition is making things interesting for you, now I think we're kind of gonna get that rush push. And man, because they still have to maintain that kid friendly, but yet still want to be somewhat borderline edgy. Okay, it's PG edgy. You know, that PG-13 edgy that you get in movies. You know, that's where WWE is trying to get to right now. Now they're going from PG to PG-13. So, you know, yeah.
I mean, and I think a lot of people, they kind of underestimate just how important the entrance is, or theme music, or whatever. That alone,
Presentation, man,
yeah,
presentation, and
yeah.
Scarlett was part of his presentation.
Well,
And you
them
changed
taking,
his music. I'm sorry, and you got rid of his music, like like come on, man.
yeah. I mean, them taking away Scarlet to me was kind of like, if you took away, Paul Bearer or the urn from the Undertaker back when he first, really became the Undertaker, or that'd be like, when Kane
Well,
first came out in what, 96, 97, or maybe 98, I can't remember exactly. He coming out, and then you got the big red machine, but he coming out, he ain't got the pyro, and he ain't got the pyro when he come out. Or it's kind of like Triple H, Triple H, Triple H, dun, when his music hit, he come out, he pour the water on his head, and then he do his little look to the left, look to the right, look back to the left, spit the water up, to spit the water in the crowd. Like, that was his thing. So it's like little things like that, man. I feel like, that sets the tone. Shawn Michaels, when you hear that, when he comes out, or when you hear that glass break with Steve Austin, like, there's just certain things, man, like, it sets the tone before a match even
that
starts.
glass, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
like that is
For Austin, and I think that's why for Austin it was always, he never, like, when he even when he had the new music, it still went, it was just still awesome as hell, because it was just
yeah.
it was just that glass. It's like it is, and then the way he walking out, and you just got that walk, with that walk, and you just, oh yeah, he about ready to whoop some ass. It's mud hole stumping time, and then he hit that ring, he give you those double fingers, and then he get in the ring, and then he get to lay in the mud, and you get to stump a mud hole in somebody. And Cross kind of has that, but I wish they would go back to Scarlett in his presentation and drop his look. Like, oh my God, go back to the
Bro, he look like
get
one
rid
of
of
them
that.
damn sex workers.
Right, man. Get rid of that sex kind of looking. Get rid of that, man. Go back to the gladiator look with the short. I was cool with that, man. That was cool, man. He don't. Yeah, sometimes, man. Sometimes the simple things are better. It simple is better sometimes, man. And it's not like he looks like too many other people, so he's different from everybody, from a few folks. So, and he should have came out looking like a beast. He should have squashed Jeff Hardy. Everybody he should have faced, he should have squashed. Even Keith Lee. But at that point in time, when people had given up kind of on Keith Lee and this Bearcat gimmick, we'll see how far it gets over. Especially with Big E, being the champion. I'm pretty sure he's got to have competitors. Guys are gonna want to step up, so they ain't got no choice but to put some guys in spots and see what they can do. So I'll be interested to see what happens when they get to that point. But Keith Lee, man, yeah, man, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna have faith in him, okay, that he can make this thing work. I don't want him to make this thing work, man. He's a demolition kid. Salute to you, Flawless. Salute to you. He is a demolition kid, man. But man, yeah, I did. Keith Lee, man. I'm not calling him that other shit. But let's talk about something else, man.
Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit, man, because I want to talk to you about that boy, man, Maxwell Jacob Free, man. One of the hottest young up and coming heels in the game right now, man. Some might say the hottest heel in the game. MJF, man, he's made no secret that
He's second to Roman Reigns right now. He's second to Roman Reigns as
he's made no secret that there could be a possibility that he one day could or will or would want to or wouldn't mind working for WWE. He said that many a times. And hey, Tony Khan being the guy he is, he gives his people that leeway to say what they want to say. And boy, MJF, man, I sent you a screenshot of what he said earlier, man, as far as talking about Roman Reigns and stuff like that. But I want to talk to you about this because it has gotten to the point now where WWE no longer denies the presence of AEW. They kind of always acknowledged it, but it was always kind of it was always indirectly. Now You got even the superstars, being a little more direct in their tweets, being a little more direct in their, their interviews and their statements and stuff like that. So, but Eric Bischoff, man, Eric Bischoff kind of says something, and I want to bring it up because a lot of people seem to take issue with Tony Khan, being the leader, being the owner, being the face, the actual face of the company, AEW. Seemingly fanboying over the fact that in the demos, AEW, they ended up picking up the victory over Friday Night SmackDown. But a lot of people, man, that's really in the industry and of the industry, feel like, man, that was a small victory. I mean, first of all, you went up against SmackDown, who weren't even on regular Fox; they were on FS1.
And they still picked up like 800,000 people, which I mean,
hold on, I want to get your thoughts on Bischoff, because then Bischoff said that if I were Tony Khan, man, I would just shut up and I would focus, because Bischoff says you guys still aren't competition. Now I know a lot of people were like, well, this is the same guy that went out on TV and leaked ratings live on his show, but he said this. He said when I did what I did, we were in legitimate competition with WWE. Like, we legit, like, it was literally dog eat dog. Like, at any given week, they could be out of business, we could be out of business. Tony Khan, on the other hand, you're not really in competition with WWE. It's like you are, but you're not. Like, okay, yeah, you're refreshing. Yeah, you're taking a key demo here or there. But if you're looking at revenue-wise, if you're looking at actually putting somebody out of business or threatening their spot, you're not there yet. And if I were you, I would shut the fuck up. I will humble myself. I will keep doing what I'm doing. Let it speak for myself. And then maybe we can revisit this situation, because one thing he did say is you're not really going head to head. You're not coming on at 8 o'clock with SmackDown. You're not coming on at 8 o'clock with Raw. It's two different times. So I was like, yeah, this past week you guys kind of overlapped, but you really didn't go head to head start to finish. Now us, we love AEW, we love WWE, but being, the wrestling journalists we are, I have to kind of bring it up. Does Eric Bischoff have a point? Is Tony Khan getting a little too ahead of himself? Or on the flip side, does TK, man, does he deserve to have this arrogance about himself?
Both to a degree, but more so Bischoff is right. And here's why I say that. Everything that Bischoff said was 100%. WCW was already an established wrestling company. They were already there. Let's look back. Yes. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait, dude. I can't wait for the Flash. But when Nitro, let me go back a little further to that. When Hogan signed to WCW, that brought attention to WCW, because that was the biggest news sign ever. All right, because you gotta think about this. This Hulk Hogan, he became Hulk Hogan. WWE. He was named. When you think of the '80s, you think Hulk Hogan. That is who was the man of that era for that company. And when everything happened with him and Vince in the court and all that, he's off doing his own thing. He's no longer in wrestling. Bischoff goes, convinces him to come back, and they make this huge thing of him signing with WCW. That kick-started that for them. Now, it didn't last too much long, because eventually wrestling was transitioning. This is when wrestling was transitioning from what Hogan was so famous for to more of the HBK kind of Shawn Michaels kind of style of things, and wrestling and that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying. We talked about it, but so when Nitro hit, like you said, Nitro could legitimately put WWE out of business. AEW is nowhere near that. I agreed with Bischoff that Tony Khan does need to calm down a little bit. I get talking a little shit, as far as the, we're doing good and we're doing our thing and we're being something different, you know, and defending your company. But at the same time, he has gotten a little carried away. And, you know, and I do think I think he needs to continue doing what he's doing. You know, I'm not saying don't talk no shit. Talk your shit. Like talk your shit, but at the same time, make sure, you know, make sure you're being focused on continuing to grow the product. As I said, it's only been 2 years. Okay. You're something different than what the competition is doing. If the competition starts, if Vince decides, you know what, I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to go to doing more of this, and WWE starts doing that, man, AEW is going to be in some hot water because people will, well, not really, because people still watch it because of who's there. But, you know, WWE will start to get, you know, come back in competition. But, you know, but they're not really in competition because they're still the juggernaut. They're the global brand. We said this the other night, man, or yesterday. They're the global brand. So Bischoff is right, you know, as far as what he is seeing and what he's saying, because he's a man of that experience. Okay. Even if you don't agree with him, he's still a man of that experience. You can't disagree with that. So it's not like he's saying something that he ain't never experienced. He's experienced talking shit, and then on the other hand, dropping the ball. So it's like, all right, you got a point, but I don't want Tony Khan to stop talking shit, but I don't want him doing as much. And I want him to do it in a way where it favors him and the company more, that it makes people look at them in a negative light. That's what I want him to do. If he can focus on it, doing it that way, where it's like, yeah, and he's like, even if he's like, man, WWE, he's like, man, did you see that SmackDown? That SmackDown was great, man. Whew, man. I mean, you know, what can we do with it, man? But you know, we can't do much. You know, we just give you a Daniel Bryan and Suzuki. We just give you a CM Punk and Matt Cardona. You know, we just give you these little matches. You know, we just do this little stuff over here, man. But you know, hey, man, that's WWE. They're the global brand. You know, he can talk them up, but at the same time, talk shit. But yeah, I think he needs to pull back just a little bit. But again, man, defend yourself. But again, WWE is, any person who's not using common sense knows, well, any person that's not using common sense is going to argue, you know, this factor, this point. Anybody with common sense knows AEW is nowhere near to shutting down WWE. Okay, we all know this. They're nowhere near it. That's fine. We know that. They're just an alternative to what's going on in the big world of wrestling right now, and people like what's going, the alternative, and WWE is feeling it. They're feeling it. They're seeing it, and they're gradually, somewhat trying to fix it, but still doing things their own way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, we're gonna move on, but before we do, I have mixed feelings about it. I like the shit talking to Tony Khan, man, and this is the reason I say this, because for so long, for 20 plus long years, you had one major player in town.
True.
And Vince and Triple H, they aren't completely innocent themselves, man. They've talked hella shit. And not even just about AEW, just in any company that Vince has put out, he has put them out of their fucking misery. He's taken them out back and shot their ass more than they needed to be shot.
He has yellered their asses more times than anybody. Hell yeah, he has.
Bro, this is a guy who would sign people from a rival promotion. He would sign you, bring you on TV, build you up just to flat out fucking embarrass you. I say this.
I was gonna say throw your ass in catering, but that works too.
Well, because look at this. I say the biggest nail in the coffin to WCW. It wasn't having Booker T come over and lose to Triple H. Oh, no. Even though we felt like he should have got the World Heavyweight Championship back then. No. I say the biggest nail in the coffin was getting that guy Sting. Finally getting Sting, the guy who avoided WWE for so long because he felt like he would be buried. He feel like he will not be used properly. A large part due to Vince's disdain for WCW. And what do? You build this guy up. You have him come. And then what do you do with his WrestleMania moment? You fucking have him lose. Who do you have him lose to? Triple H.
No, okay. No, man. You watered that the hell fuck down. Because not only did you have him lose, but you basically had Triple H's boys come out to help him and be against him. Okay, because you had the NWO and DX. That's all the fucking click. You're not fooling no damn body. I didn't like that. I didn't like that it was the NWO. I mean, I got it, but at the same time, I didn't want that. That to me, that made it work. Some people liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't care. I didn't care for the NWO to come out and to support Sting. I didn't need to see DX come out and I didn't need to see that, man. It wasn't about WCW and WWE. It was just about Sting finally getting this moment to be in WWE and to have a WrestleMania moment, which it shouldn't have been with Triple H. I wish it would have been with The Undertaker. If The Undertaker was in somewhat still capability of having a good match, and remind you, both of these guys are at a point in their career where you really couldn't expect anything too great from them. Let's put that in perspective. If this was 10 years prior, if this was 10 years prior to that date of Sting wrestling Triple H, that's a different story. That's a Sting and Undertaker that's 10 years younger, that are a little bit more prime than the guys that we would have wished we would have gotten at that moment, back when Sting actually showed up. So that would have been the oh shit holy grail moment, because we know we would have got a hell of a match out of those two. But I still think it should have been the Undertaker. Even 50% of himself would have been better than watching Triple H. And I wouldn't have been mad if he lost Undertaker, but Undertaker might have wanted to lose to the Sting. But Sting should have beat Triple H. All right. He should have beaten Triple H. Like, dude, you already. Nah, man, fuck that. He should have lost to Triple H, man. Triple H, you're golden. You're good, dude. Your status doesn't. You were never that huge of a guy anyway, so you not winning at WrestleMania against him wouldn't have hurt you. Like, that's the thing. Like, it wouldn't have hurt you. Like, Sting being the icon, the legend, the Hall of Famer that he truly was, he should have got that moment. That would have been that would have been a moment people would have remembered more than anything. That's something people would remember for a positive reason, other than people remembering the bullshit NWO DX moment and then Sting, getting lost out. So now people that's something people want to forget. So when it comes up, it's like, oh damn, yeah, I remember that bullshit when it happened. And that's the wrong image. That's the wrong thing that I want to remember, man. The one he deserved to get that one win. He got injured, so he was never going to win and he tried to beat Seth Rollins. He might have actually beat him. Who am I talking? This WWE, he wouldn't have beat him. But he had a good match with Seth Rollins until he got hurt. I don't know what Sting would have done, but he had something left in him to do a little bit, and it would have been nice if they actually gave a fuck. But we got what we got, man, and that was terrible in itself, man. So that alone, even since that point, man, you just don't really. It's always been that way, when it comes to people from the other company that become big. But this thing with Tony Khan and AEW and WWE, we like AEW and what they do. They still have things to work out, but they have things that are good and that works. But no, I do not see them. I see them doing some things different to make noise against WWE. But nowhere do I see them being direct threat of competition to WWE. Because even as crappy as we crap on them, we don't even do, folks, we don't do a Raw review. Okay, we don't do a Raw review for a fucking reason. So the fact that even for that, no, we don't. It's still WWE. It's still WWE.
And that's the thing, man. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Because people ask all the time, and even my lady, she asked you like, why do you guys, again, she see how I get after a pay-per-view, and she's like, why do you continue to watch it if like every pay-per-view you getting mad and you cussing and you yelling at the TV and you upset? And it's like, dude, it's weird, man. I cannot explain it. It's like a brainwashing of sort, man. Like when they say
because
this shit is like a cult, man, it is like a cult because it's every time, right? It's like every time you say fuck WWE, they do something, man. They do just a fucking enough. Just enough to kind of keep you intrigued. Just enough. It's like being in a bad relationship, right? I promise, baby, I won't do it again. I promise. And then, there you go.
No, that's not even what it is, bro. WWE has been a tease for years. They're that girl that always teases you, but never gives it up. It makes you do all the stupid shit, but never gives it up. Okay, that's what it is, man. WWE, because they sometimes, and what I mean by that is, they sometimes give us, and it's not just girls. I mean, guys. I guess guys do it too. But
hey, I want to be woke up too. I want to fake sleep. My bad, John.
I'm trying to be fair about it, man. I'm trying to be fair, but okay. So like WWE will sometimes give us something really good.
Yeah.
And man, they'll give you something you'll really want to see, and you'll be vested into it. And then they'll just decide, oh, you know what, we don't want to do it. Yeah, you know what, I changed my mind. Oh, you know what, I don't feel like. Oh, you know, I got a headache. It's like, bitch. It's like you got me all riled up. I'm ready to go, and now you. And that's what WWE has done to a degree where it's like we still watch it because they play on our emotions. They're like, oh, they like that, huh? That's what they want to see. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll give it to them, and then we'll get them to right here, and then we'll do this, and then it's like, well, what the fuck? And that's it's like that's so to me. That's how I feel like that's how they think. Like that's how they it's like we're just gonna give them enough, and then we'll do this because this will be more of a topic to talk about than what they really think will be a really good topic to talk about. But
you know it's crazy.
Sometimes the stuff that I'm sorry, but sometimes it seems like the stuff that they do, it doesn't. It leaves people in the point where it's like, man, that was trash, dude. Like how you go, like you did all of that just to do this, like that, and there's too much of that. That's the problem.
Well,
and
so
that's why they get us.
It's funny because it's like me, dude. It's like even though I can't tell you the last time I watched a Monday Night Raw start to finish, I can't even lie to you and tell you. But for some reason, I just delete the shit anyway. But I keep letting it record on my DVR, thinking that one day,
it will be one day. Now, okay, so so Friday's supposed to be the official start of the draft. We're gonna get people that got drafted to SmackDown on SmackDown. Those drafted to Raw on Raw when Raw comes back next week. I don't expect nothing great, but it'd be nice to see what the direction is going to be moving forward. Crown Jewel obviously is kind of like an end point. And I mean that is in the fact that it's now. Honestly, I don't think it's the third hour that be dragging. I think it's that middle after that first hour and a half of them trying to draw you in excitement, then it kind of drags out in the middle. It's always that hour in the middle. To me, I feel like it's the second hour that always kind of gets you kind of down. So by the time the third hour gets there and they want to build you up for the main event, it just really takes you out. How you doing, Mama? Hope you feeling well. But with Crown Jewel, kind of you got certain people fighting people that's on one show. So you kind of got some one-off things, and you're kind of tying off some other storylines. So when you start up Friday with the draft, Drew and all of them and Flair and all of them being on SmackDown, you can move forward with your new storylines and whatnot. And I want to I want to think that there'll be something interesting, that they've actually kind of got something moving forward. I think they could have waited for the. I think now looking at it, they should have waited for the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, which they should have just called it. I think they should have waited till the draft was official, like all the stuff was official, and then do it. But they did it now. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's. I want to think maybe they understand a little bit, and maybe they'll move into a new direction. But it's hard, man. Man, look, man, Kirk, man, look, man. It does look great. It does look great, but I just think 10 matches, and we're gonna actually talk about that shortly. But 10 matches, man. That there's a hint, like out of the 10. There's at least 6 of them I'm looking at right now to where I'm like, damn, I kind of got the obvious on 4 of them, but the other ones is like, I really don't know. But is that because of the new direction you're going in, or is that to please the Crown Prince? So I don't know.
Well, but you know what? Let's talk about it in a second. But before we do, Leo says we're gonna have Santos Escobar versus Carmelo for the title on SmackDown because they'll be held hostage again in Saudi.
I'm not fine with that. This isn't the NXT. Oh my god, man. You know what? We probably will get that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. Let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about that because you brought up something. I wasn't gonna talk about it. I was gonna dive right into the crown jewel thing. Fuck it. Let's talk about it. We here with the people. Hey man, look, we about to get violent. All right, bro. So let's keep this shit all the way a buck because I got something to get off my chest, and I know you got something to get off your chest. Okay. I appreciate the attempt of WWE NXT 2.0. I do. I really do. However, upon further deliberation and pontification, yes, I'm using my big words. I went to my TI School of Dictionary and Logic. Yes. This urban kid.
Expeditiously.
Yes. I am a fan of this vocabulary. But I like it. I don't necessarily hate it. But I would tell you this. Going back to the glory days of NXT,
yeah,
I will honestly, and I'm just going, hey, it is what it is. To me, and I get that the goal was to make this like legit a developmental brand because that's what NXT was supposed to be before it kind of became a third official brand. I like this, but I feel like this, and this is gonna sound funny, but just kind of bear with me. I feel like NXT 2.0 could have been to NXT what AEW Dark is to AEW. I feel like you still could have gotten your way with NXT 2.0 without necessarily doing away with the hardcore NXT. You could have slowly phased out the original NXT in due time. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't like the way how they just came in and just completely overhauled it all at once. To me, because now, like you said, everything feels rushed because NXT had a certain format. You get a couple promos, you get a couple nice matches, boom, that's it. Similar to AEW, but different. Now I feel like you think Raw has a lot of shit going on in 3 hours? Dude, I literally feel like NXT shoves 4 hours of fucking wrestling TV shit in a 2-hour show. Because you might have about 7 matches, maybe 2 of them actually gets legitimate time. Then you got 20 fucking promos and 10 vignettes. It's like it's too much to digest.
You said that wrong.
Much to digest.
No, man, you said that wrong. They don't have 7 matches. They have about 4 matches, and you got about 20 promos of people doing promo shit. Like, dude, there was so many vignettes of people just like, damn, dude. Like I be legitimately trying to remember people's names, but I cannot keep up. Like AEW is one thing because a lot of these people I've never seen, or they've changed their name, so I know them, but I only know them by the name that I've gotten used to calling them. NXT, There's too many. I can't remember all these goddamn names. Man, I can't remember. I got enough. I got to try to remember. I can't do this, man. Okay, I can't. I can't do it. It's too many of them. It's too many of them, and they're just pushing them and just forcing them down our throats. And it's like I feel like this is going to be the problem with NXT 2.0 because unless it's a couple of matches that you're going to give time to. Everything else is going to kind of be rushed, and then you're just going to get a whole bunch of people just talking, and
Hey, Leo said it best. He says, "I remember the faction names and not the names in the factions."
I get more of that than anything, man. I'm trying, man. It's like some of these people like I like, but oh my god.
He said NW Thunder.
Oh my god, dude! I think you're too spot on with that, man. Man. Okay, I'll say this. This wouldn't have been an issue if Vince would have respected the talent that he had, that Triple H was bringing to him with NXT, the black and gold NXT. With Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Shield, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Robert Roode, Drew McIntyre, the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, FTR, the Revival when they were in. Who else am out there? The Street Profits. Give me somebody else, man. Who else am I missing?
Breezango.
Breezango. Okay, well, here it is. Shayna Baszler. Asuka. Okay, all those names I named. All of them were so legit in NXT. That's what made people love NXT so much. That's what made people talk about it so much. Less than half of them got legitimate pushes when they made it to the main roster. That's not their fault. That's Vince's fault because you changed and you didn't respect and see what got these guys over, and then at least attempt to use that to see if it gets over. What's the worst that you can do? Repackage them? Oh, then repackage them. Then you make them whatever the hell you want. But at least give them the opportunity for what they made a great name for in NXT to where people wanted to see them. You could have gave them better opportunities. Now, Kevin Owens, yes. The Shield, yes. Nakamura to a degree, yes, because he did come in. He did win the the Royal Rumble. He did go have a great match at WrestleMania, even though he didn't win and he should have won. But you could have let them be them. The Viking Raiders, the Viking Experience, the War Raiders. You could have changed the name, but you could have still let them be them. Like they're still a great tag team. There were so many that came up that really were good and really could do some things that they got made into jokes. Some got the legitimate pushes, but then they fell off real fast, and then some never really got off. And now you're looking at like, well, I don't want to use these guys anymore. Well, you kind of wasted those guys' time. You wasted a lot of people's time because you didn't have the patience to put them out there and let them be them. And that's all AEW is doing. That's all AEW is doing. That's why people like it, because AEW is just letting people be themselves. And some of this that they're letting people do and what they're doing, people like. That's the only difference. That's why I'd say WWE, they're not in no AEW's not no threat to them. They're the alternative to something else to watch. But we like it. People like it. And the people that Vince want to bring back are the people that AEW that has, and that's the hardcore fans. That's what Vince is missing. Vince has the casual fans. Vince has the people that watch it every so often. He has all those people that's the entertainment fans. He has all of them people. He doesn't have the hardcore fans because they're watching AEW because they want to see wrestling. Don't say not even like us. We're hardcore fans. We watch them both, but we know what we prefer sometimes over the other, and that's just what it is.
And that's the thing too. And for me, people
keep talking.
People bitch and complain so much about AEW and WWE, and they want AEW to go out of business, so they want WWE to go out of business. But for me, for me, I feel like, it's great to have both these shows. I feel like WWE needs AEW. I feel like AEW needs WWE. And I feel like they all in turn need, the other independents. Like, my thing is, I like having the option. I don't want to see AEW whoop WWE's ass so bad to the point where WWE doesn't exist no more. That's not fun for anybody. I don't want to see WWE whoop AEW's ass so bad where WWE again for another 20 fucking years is the only thing that's really viable on TV.
Do not want to see that. Do not want to see that.
So my thing is, that's why I don't understand. I understand that. Okay, here's the thing about wrestling fans, and I'm gonna say this from the outside looking in. I don't understand the tribalism between WWE and AEW. Now, if you like AEW and you hate WWE, I completely understand it. On the flip side, if you love WWE and you fucking hate AEW, I understand it. But what I don't understand is the tribalism between the two, because before AEW came into the fold, I think I speak for the majority of wrestling fans when I say every single one of you WWE fans at one point or time or another has bitched about Vince and the booking and the shit that he's put on for the last fucking 20-something years. Everybody at one point was like, what the fuck is this? I can't tell you how many pay-per-views I've watched and on Twitter and on Facebook, all you pro WWE people absolutely shit on WWE and how you missed the Monday Night Wars and how WWE's got soft and how we got cookie cutter and how it's too politically correct. And now you have somebody who's like, okay, look, I got something different. I got an alternative. Tony Khan's made no bones about it. When he first came out with AEW, he said, look, man, this is for the hardcore fan. We don't, if we get the mainstream or casual fan that want to trickle in, that's cool. But our product isn't based on that. It's based on this. Tony Khan found his niche, and that's cool. I get it. Vince McMahon, he says our product is based more for, the casual fan. We want to get this one. We want to get that one. We want to hit all spectrums. I get that. So as a wrestling fan, man, you should be happy. The thing I don't understand also about the WWE stands is this. You can't sit up here and bitch and complain about a guy not being utilized properly in WWE or a woman not being utilized properly in WWE, but then have the audacity to sit up here and try to shit on AEW or to try to shit on that same superstar for going to AEW. You can't sit up here and be like, oh, well, Ruby Soho, she wasn't shitting at AEW, or oh, Braun Strowman in WWE, or Braun Strowman wasn't shitting at AEW, or Matt Hardy. They fucking killed him after his fucking return with his tag team run. They won the championships. After him and Jeff lost them motherfuckers, it's pretty much obscurity. Then you had him and Bray Wyatt kind of doing their thing. They tried to recreate what they did in TNA. That shit didn't work out. Bye-bye, Matt. Then people got mad because Vince brought back Aleister Black, was supposed to put him in the storyline with Big E, teased it, and then the next week he's fucking gone, a month later in the new company, and people are bitching about it. Andrade, people was complaining about that. When Andrade was in NXT and he got called up, people said it was fucking egregious how he got booked in WWE. Then he goes to AEW, and now people are complaining about that too. Buddy Murphy, same thing. When he came up in his storyline against Roman Reigns, the next big thing, Secret No More. Okay, now could I have done without the Rey Mysterio and the Seth Rollins angle? Absolutely. But Buddy Murphy was on fucking fire. And now people shitting on him. Zack Ryder, same thing. Woo, woo, woo. Long Island motherfucker. He won the IC championship in New York in his home city. Okay, he might have lost it the next night on Raw. Now people are bitching about him going to GCW and winning there. It's like, dude, you can't win for fucking losing with some of these WWE people. And I think that's the problem. And I think that's where it gets annoying because people want something different. You claim you want an alternative. You claim, you're tired of the monopolization of, wrestling. And you want to see your favorite guys and girls get their shine. But when it's not in WWE, you try to discredit it. And I think that's kind of where it gets a little annoying, because I think people kind of look at it like if it ain't WWE, if it ain't Vince, it ain't true like professional wrestling. And I think that's kind of where the annoyance is at, because people sat there and talk shit about Impact for getting all the washed up WWE guys, but don't nobody give a fuck about when WWE goes up here and pirates and fucking pillages and Christopher Columbus's every other motherfucking promotion in the world and snatch up their talents. Don't nobody complain about that though. Vincent Kennedy, Christopher Columbus McMahon sit up here He can sit up here. He can sit up here, and he can go take his little shit from continent to continent, and don't nobody give a fuck. But then, soon as Tony Khan decided to bring a couple of good old boys on over, now all of a sudden Tony Khan, the big bad master. No. Keep that same energy with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. When he's up here on them steroid trials and shit, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers weren't complaining. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just saying, come on, Christopher Columbus. You know, up here claiming you discovered this new land. No, you didn't. You can't discover some shit that's already been there, sir. You know, up here trying to change motherfuckers' names like I don't know who he was fucking 6 months ago before he got released out of this contract. Please. Please.
Yo.
Come on, man.
I didn't even catch, like, I heard you say it, but my mind didn't register. You called him Christopher Columbus. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, damn. That's perfect. Oh, my God. Yo.
But if you think about it, that's what WWE do, man. They go around pillaging talent and shit. You hoard them, and then guess what? You treat their career like that blanket with smallpox. You give it to the people, and you kill their careers. And guess what? They sit there and die in catering. And then if that ain't good enough, you really kill them with that 90-day contract clause where they sit at home and you think people forget about their ass. Yeah, malaria to their career. Bye-bye. You're dead.
Yo, what are the people saying? I gotta know what the people are saying. I can't say shit. What are the people saying? Because I know Leo is laughing his ass. What is going down? Because I know that. Oh, shit. I know I'm not the only one here laughing. Oh, man. Look. Hey, man. Oh, hell no. I know it. I knew it. I know I'm not the only one in here, man. Yo, look, you hit on the money, man. You hit it on the money. Everything you said. Look.
I'm sorry, man. I had to get it off my chest, bro.
Oh, man, that's why it's called shooting from the hip. Yo, that is the problem. Because you have people who are so conditioned to WWE. Period. They can bitch and complain about it, but it's still the best product on the company in the world. Still the best product. Period. You can't convince people of that. Only the people that are willing to be only the people that are willing to be biased. Only the people that are willing. He said, take a breath, drink some water. Hey, man, gonna take you a 5. Gonna take you a 10-5, my dude. Hey, come back. Gonna take you a 5. I got this right here. I got this for a minute. You gonna do what you do. You need a relief. Hey, for real. Oh, man, but anybody with wrestling common sense.
Hey, bro,
man.
I feel like Bishop G.E. Patterson. I'm sweating.
That man, right, man. Yeah, boy, I swear, boy, you laid that sermon down, boy, you laid it down. Oh, man, look, but anybody that has wrestling common sense and bias is going to look at WWE and say, okay, this is what's wrong with it. I know what I like about it. I know what I don't like about it. I wish they would do it. When you see and saw that they had so many people that you know has so much potential to be more, and then we don't get to see them, the true fan, the real fan, understands that and does not like it and voice their opinion. The Kool-Aid drinking fans stay the Kool-Aid drinking fans because they're so conditioned to WWE. Look, once WCW lost, it was a wrap. Once TNA kind of came from out of nowhere, they had something great, but they changed the rings. They brought certain people in. They did certain storylines. It kind of they lost their way in what made them popular. That it faltered, and guys were becoming so popular where it was just, you know what, we'll leave and go elsewhere and we have a better shot going elsewhere than staying here. And that didn't work. When people thought it was another alternative and it didn't work and it failed, then yeah, there was no real hope in anything else. Ring of Honor never took off. New Japan The American people barely see it. So it wasn't like there was anything remotely competitive or worthy enough for people's eyes to watch. Only the hardcore fans were staying to the internet and watching the indie shows and watching the Ring of Honors and the Impacts through the hard times, through the times where it was hard for people to really want to continue to watch them because it was really bad. So now that you actually have a legit company that offers you something different, it's that willingness to forget that everyone that Vince has now on his roster made a name somewhere else. People, they all made a name somewhere else, man. Their name their personnel or who they are as a person may have gotten popular in WWE. I will not disregard that. That is a fact. A lot of them have gotten a bigger name by going through WWE, but they were mostly known already prior to it. So anybody who's not willing to acknowledge that, okay, all right, then you're the problem. All right, that's just what it is. We can all see what it is. You can still like or dislike what you want to dislike. We're never telling you that, but don't pretend like, oh my God, man, Vince just created all these dudes and they're just strictly WWE guys. No. AJ Styles, who's one of the top people in WWE, is a TNA guy. All right. He made his name through TNA. Okay. Then he went to New Japan and got global. And then WWE brought him in. Yeah, man, come on, man. This is his final stop. This isn't his beginning. This dude has already ran through all these other companies and has made a name for himself. This is his final stop. This is him adding on to his Hall of Fame career when it's his time to go into the Hall of Fame. It's not like that with some of these other guys because they made their name somewhere else and now they're in the mist. And you're seeing that with other guys in AEW. So you hit it on the money, bro. Vince Columbus Kennedy McMahon. Man, he did not discover a lot of these people, but you have folks who are they've been their WWE lifers and the way that Vince portrays and sees things is the way they'll always portray and see it. And if they don't willingly open their eyes, man, it's a losing argument.
Yeah, man, But enough of the pillaging going on in professional wrestling. I think much like the history books, we all know everything ain't written. You got to go look for it yourself, and it's called YouTube and DVDs and VCRs and VHSs. Because let Vince and Kennedy McMahon tell it, don't nobody else exists except for that piss hand company called AEW. But with that being said, Too Cold, man, before we wrap things up, let's talk about this crown jewel card. We're gonna do an impromptu. What we call it? Review? Not review. Prediction. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and add this, man, because between this and next week, Halloween Havoc, we got a lot of predictions coming up, man. So the tide could change, man. The
15 matches, man.
The stakes are crazy.
Matches.
We've never predicted on this many matches at one time. So I know.
Well, we have because we've had a couple of pay-per-views that were close by. We had one where the AEW and WWE had like a pay-per-view or something like really close to by. So we've I think this is maybe the top 15, but we've done close to 15. But yeah, because this was a lot. I didn't realize they were doing 10 matches. I thought maybe 7 or 8, but this is going to be a damn 3. This is going to be like a 4-hour show. This shit, man. All right, man. So look, we got 10 matches for Crown Jewel. Like I said earlier, man, a handful of these matches, I really don't. I think I know who's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else won. So, you know what? Let's kick things off like this, man. Let's go with the King of the Ring. Let's go with Balor versus Xavier Woods. Franchise, man. You the leader. You up. You the man. You winning. So I'm going to go to you first, bro. Who do you got, man, for Crown Jewel, man, for Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods?
So I really, really, really want Xavier Woods to win. But if the backstage reports are true about Finn Balor getting a huge, huge, huge push on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to say it's going to be a valiant effort by Mr. Xavier Woods. But if I had to pick, I got to say the Prince Finn Balor is coming out on top.
You're going with Balor. All right. I'm feeling real too codish, man, right now, man. This is man. Balor would benefit from this. And Balor, if they have plans for Balor being the Demon King would be so apropos. It would be the right thing to do. It would be the thing. But if they're really going to push with Xavier Woods, I think beating Finn Balor would be the thing to do. Right now, they say they got a plan for Finn Balor, but who's to say that plan for Finn Balor is actually good? All right, come on, man. We're taking this news and we're hearing it, but do we? So me, I'm going to Xavier Woods. I'm going to say Woods pulls this out, man. I don't know how. I mean, it's Finn Balor. I've seen what Finn Balor can do. I know how good he is, but I'm going to Xavier Woods, man. I'm gonna call it on Xavier Woods. Next up, man. Let's go. Okay, let's go with the hometown boy, man. So apparently, it would be Mustafa Ali versus Mansoor. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see the hometown boy losing. So I'm going with Mansoor. They not trying to get stuck or delayed again. So you better make sure this boy wins. So I'm going Mansoor, man. Just because I don't see that going away.
Yeah, I'm rocking with you, man, because the word around town is the Crown Prince said that Mansoor don't win. They gonna have to bump some Warren G and Nate Dogg because he gonna have to regulate that ass. So yeah, nah, man, Mansoor, he got this all day. It's like a tradition. First of all, it's funny how I'm sorry to say this, but Vince treats this Saudi Arabia and Mansoor thing kind of like black people do when it comes to February, right? All year long, it is what it is, but February is our month. Vince McMahon, you don't never see this motherfucker Mansoor on TV, ever. Bro, I swear I forget who Mansoor is, but as soon as it's time to go chill with the Saudi Crown Prince, guess who the hottest motherfucker in the company? And Dan sure ain't Jinder Mahal, so they got to pull Mansoor out.
Well, okay, but to be fair, Mansoor's been on TV a lot lately, but he's actually been winning some matches and losing.
He had to.
But he's actually been on TV this time around. Previously, we would never see him on TV. Like we would never really see him until it was like prior to the show. At least this time around, I will be fair. I will give Vince that credit. We've been watching Mansoor and this Ali thing for at least about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. So he's been on TV. At least they've done that. Okay. At least he just doesn't come out of nowhere only when this show appears. He's actually been doing something. Okay. Let's give him some credit. All right. But we're gonna get that out the way. All right, man. Next up, man, we're gonna go with the Queen's Crown. Selena Vega versus Doudrop.
Doudrop.
Dude, I'm going Vega. I something in me just says Vega's gonna win.
You said shenanigans coming? Is that what it is?
Oh my God. I don't know because one, this is a woman's match. So, they already got restrictions on that. What could or may happen? I mean, Doudrop could. The common sense in me is telling me Doudrop could win this, but I don't. Oh man, see, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Don't know, man.
There are many things I believe in, and there are many things that I don't believe in when it comes to WWE. I refuse to believe that Vince McMahon thinks I'm this goddamn dumb. That Zelina little ass Vega. I mean, bro, she is smaller than the second smallest person on the roster by a long shot. Ain't no fucking way in hell you about to. If she rolls up Dewdrop, bro, I'm quitting the GOW. If she wins via the roll up of death, I'm quitting.
You can't do that, man, because you know that's a 75% chance of happening. You know that's a damn good chance. No, you're not leaving me by myself. Look, no. You can just take that off the board because that's why I picked her to win. I'm not picking her because I got confidence that she'll win. I'm picking her because I think she'll do some bullshit and she'll win.
Dewdrop gonna be on the top rope and he's gonna snap like Finn Balor.
Oh my God, dude! Man, God is gonna come down and not like that. Oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm not even gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm going with Vega. Who you got?
Bro, I told you, Dewdrop. I'm going with Dewdrop, bro.
Dewdrop. All right. You got Dewdrop. No problem. Hey, look. I told you, man. There's some matches on here. I'm looking at it. It's like logic is telling me this person, but I feel like this could really fucking happen. Like all right. Let's move on, man. All right. Who are we going up with next? Okay, so a match that apparently got added was the Usos versus the Hurt Business. If it's for the titles, I didn't hear if it was for the titles. Well, it don't matter. I'm going Usos. So I'm going to say the Usos are going to win. I don't see Hurt Business winning. They're not switching brands. Bobby Lashley's still on Raw. So, he's not going anywhere. So who do you got, man? Hurt Business or Usos?
You know what's crazy? I want to see the Hurt Business get them straps back. But something is telling me just by see, I also think this depends on what happens with Roman and Brock. But you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm just going to say Usos win.
Usos with the win. Okay. All right. So that's what, 4 matches? All right. So let's get to this 5th match because
yes, Sirski.
All right, man. So next up, man. You know what? Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go with the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bro versus AJ and Omos.
Yeah.
Who you got, man? Who you got?
Is this for the championship?
Yes, it is.
RK Bro.
RK Bro.
If it was a regular match, I would have said AJ and Omos would have found a way, but there's no way in hell I see AJ and Omos winning tag team championships again.
I'm going AJ and Omos. I'm going against the grain. I mean, you could be right. I mean, because the Street Profits had a match with AJ Styles. With RK Bro, and they lost.
Man.
Well, they was disqualification because AJ and them came out and interfered.
I swear, it's like you ever seen that show growing up, man? I know you had that scene. If I seen it, you seen it. You ever seen the show Kids Say the Darndest Things or Kids Do the Darndest Things with Bill Cosby? Hey, shout out Bill, man. Hey, my bad, homie. But,
Putting pops forever.
Yeah, bro. I feel like you are doing everything in your might, man, to be anti-franchise right now, man. I'm gonna start that. That's gonna be a thing, man. Anti-franchise. Anytime you don't agree with me, you anti-franchise.
Dude, I told you, man. I said it all this show, man. I do not have a 100%.
How you doing?
I do not feel confident about some of these matches, man. It's like if they end up happening the way I think they will, and I picked against it, it is what it is. It's like, all right, cool. I thought that would be Dr. Hustle.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna make sure I send you some pudding pops with the next GOW merch.
Man, so it's like it is what it is, man. Shenanigans can happen.
It's true.
It's WWE, man. It is WWE. You never really know what's going to go down. All right, man. So let's move on, man. All right, we got actually I saved kind of the best for last. So let's go with the one match that I think a lot of people may or may not be looking forward to because they want to see if Goldberg will get away with murder. Let's go with Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. My guy, who do you got for this, man? Who do you want to roll with?
All right, so because it's Saudi Arabia, because the Crown Prince likes all these old ass wrestlers, and your son did get choked out. So how much of a bitch would you look like if you get your ass beat and your son got choked out? So by using my Scott Steiner method of dad, common sense, if my son got his ass choked out, I would hope I don't get my ass beat, especially if I threaten to kill the person that would choke his ass out. So, and the prevention of all bitch assness and ass whoopings of parents across the world, I'm going to say old ass Goldberg is going to beat Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I'm going with Bobby Lashley.
I told you are anti-franchise.
I am anti-franchise today, damn it, because I am going Bobby Lashley, goddamn it.
And shout out to Julie. Julie, she rocking with me right now. She said Goldberg will take this one. Now, don't get it twisted, Julie. I'm not happy if Goldberg wins. I will be very distraught. It just, unfortunately, blood money trumps everything.
Man, look. Hey, okay. All right, man. Look.
Hey, you remember that song that Busta Rhymes had back in the day? I mean, I can't say the name of the song now. But
that A-Rad money?
Yeah.
Hey, that was a song. That's what it's called. It's like A-Rad money. All right, man. All right, so let's move on. Let's go. Let's go with. You know what? Let's go with Biggie and Drew. I'm Biggie. I don't see Biggie losing it to Drew. Drew's going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Big E's just getting a championship. They want the championship on him. He needs this type of match to, just first. I'm going Big E, man. Who you going with, man?
Yeah, Big E for sure. I think Drew's going to get a huge push on SmackDown. He's eventually going to face Roman. But for right now, like you said, you just got Big E on Raw. Drew's leaving. It makes no sense for Drew to win Big E all day.
Yeah, for sure. I can't see it no other way than that. All right, man. Next up, man, we got 3 more matches to talk about. Man, goddamn, it's a lot of cards. So let's go. Let's go Edge versus Rollins. Hell in a Cell. We're gonna get a Hell in a Cell match. Now, again, I said there are just some matches I am just not 100% sure on. I could see Edge winning this, but I can see Edge losing this.
Yeah.
It's on you, man. Who you going?
No, it's tough because this man broke into this man's house. His wife, his kids, they stay there. You drunk the man's orange juice to keep your feet up.
He did that.
So I see the need for a sadistic, a psychotic, a vengeful, a raging bull of a man in Edge. But then we know Seth Rollins and his history with cages and Hell in the Cells. And this is the same man who incapacitated an incapacitatable or beatable or death-defying fiend, and somehow still ended up picking up the victory because the damn thing was too incapacitated to fight. So,
which by the way, should not have happened. He should have been like, if you were going to call the match because of what he did, he should have lost the match, and the Fiend should have won. But of course, the championship doesn't change hand. But the Fiend should have won. It was still stupid to stop the match in the first place, but he shouldn't have won the match. I digress. I'm sorry.
You know what? I know Edge. Excuse me. I know Seth Rollins probably will win. I know Seth could really use the win. I mean, come on, man. You got a Hall of Famer, Seth Rollins, putting up a victory over a Hall of Famer.
He won at MGM. He won at Madison Square.
MSG, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I can see Edge winning. I'm picking Edge to win. I'm just saying I can understand if Seth Rollins did win because I mean, hey, look, you in that chapter, but I don't. At the same time, I don't want to have Edge in these big storylines, and every single time at the end he just loses every damn storyline. It's like, all right, come on, man, damn. I understood with Roman and Daniel Bryan. I understood that. I understood the first half of the Seth Rollins thing, but come on, goddamn, man, you got to give Edge a bone, man.
All right, man. Well, you know, keeping with the theme, anti-advance franchise. I'm going with Seth. Yeah, man. It's cool. Gender is pissed not at Crown Jewel. I told him to show up. Show up anyway. He probably would show up anyway. Not to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show up anyway. With some shenanigans. All right, man. So I got Seth. You got Edge. Because I want to see Edge win, but I think Seth winning would. There's no need for Edge to win. To do what? To fight who? What is he? No, Seth Rollins is still your workhorse. He's still your number one guy, and it will be. And now that he's on Raw, and he'll be going up against Big E.
Yeah,
it's Seth. It's Seth that yeah. I we get the first NXT champion against I believe the second NXT champion. So it's like to see that Seth Rollins versus Big E. You know, that's something that we kind of wanted to see before Seth got called up when Big E was coming up. But now we kind of really get it. So I see Seth winning to kind of propel him to that championship status to go up to go up against Big E later on. But next up, man, we got the women's triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We got that girl, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. We got the boss with the sauce, Sasha Banks. And we got that girl, big time, the man Banks, Sasha, Becky. Becky Lynch. I messed it up. I know I kind of added on to it. But I already know who you picking. I'm not even asking you.
You already know.
Yeah, I already know who you going with. Because she's still on SmackDown. And I actually think it would be smart for her to win because the other two people are going to Raw, but I don't know. But you're confirmed, just confirming Banks, right?
BOSS.
All right, man. You going with the boss. All right. I'm going with Becky. I first was going with Belair because I felt like maybe her winning the championship, because then that would give her that. But then I'm like, no, she didn't win the Raw championship. But I could see Becky and Flair just swapping the titles because they want to keep the titles on both of them. But they wanted to make something interesting out of it. So I want Belair to win, but her winning the SmackDown championship, that would be cool, but I think Becky Lynch will find some way to get it back or to retain it. So I'm going with Lynch for the retain for the SmackDown Women's Championship, just for her and Flair to swap titles whenever they show back up in America. With that being said, man, we have finally reached the final match, man. The match that I think a lot of people are actually most interested in seeing, the one match people definitely want to see and have been talking about. The advocate / counsel, special counsel, Paul Heyman. He's got a bit of found himself in a bit of a pickle. He's got the tribal chief going up against the Beast for the Universal Championship. I went with you on the last one. Well, I didn't really go with you. I knew what your answer was. So, franchise, man, I give it to you on this one, man. It's the last match. It's the Universal Championship. It's the Tribal Chief versus the Beast. Who you rolling with, Pimpin'?
You know me. I gotta do my spiel.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to admit this, but I think if there was a time that Roman could or should lose, this would be it. Now, I say that to say Roman's definitely going to get the title back soon if he were to lose. But I feel like right now, I feel like there's so many different ways you can go with this with Paul Heyman right now. I feel like you could have Paul Heyman screw Roman, right? It's obvious. Or I feel like you can have Paul Heyman screw Lesnar. Now, either way, you can't go wrong with that. My only thing is this, and I'm looking at it from for a long term aspect of it, right? Okay, if the rumors are true, if you're not gonna do Roman versus Rock at next year's WrestleMania, which that was the initial report, they're gonna end up pushing it back, for whatever reason. Dude,
he's busy. The Rock is doing movies. He's busy.
Yeah, there's literally right now, unless you go with maybe a Drew or somebody, there's nobody right now that I can see taking the title off of Roman. He's too red hot right now. I think if you had Lesnar beat him at Crown Jewel 1, pop the fans, shock them, get some ratings, that'd be a cool little thing. Like, this is basically a glorified house show. So I feel like any of the other matches, whether we kind of expect a victory or not for certain people, I think this one will be the shocker because I don't really think anybody's truly expecting Roman to lose. That's the only thing. And you could play off the whole free agency status thing. And that's another thing that's kind of confusing me because Brock made sure to mention he's a free agent now. So now I'm thinking like, well, shit, okay, how does this work? Now, it could have just been just for storyline purpose. But to answer your question, man, who do I think is going to win? I want Roman to win. Who do I think is going to win and who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar.
Let me put that down before you change your mind.
Nah, man. I'm a man of my word on this one. I gotta go. I gotta go with Brock. I want Roman to win, but it's a business decision. I gotta go with Brock.
Well, that's a hell of a business decision, man. Because I'm going with the champ to retain. And the funny part is, man, I don't have a problem with anything that you just said. I have no problem with what you said. It's just not enough to make me think that Roman still ain't gonna find a way to win this match. Because if he's gonna lose, he's not losing in front of the Crown Prince. He's losing at WrestleMania. That's just me. I think he's losing at WrestleMania. Because whoever wins the Royal Rumble, and I don't even think the person who wins the Royal Rumble is technically even on SmackDown right now. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. We got to see what direction they decide to push people moving forward once we get to Friday when it's official. But
which I can't wait for.
Right. So, before we get out of here, I think Roman is retaining. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Roman. That's the match card for tomorrow midday show because it's coming on like at 12 noon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we'll try to get a review in tomorrow. We'll see. Gotta work, so we'll try to fit some time in and watch that. But yeah, man, we only got a couple of matches where we actually got the same people. I mean, damn, this is man, yeah. This is definitely gonna be a hell of a prediction war, but we gonna see, man. We gonna see. We gonna see what turns out, but I think whatever happens is definitely gonna be due to what they're gonna do moving forward once we get back to Friday night and we get the official SmackDown draftees on the show and everybody that switched shows will be, officially moving forward on whatever it is whatever plans they claim they got for them. So we'll see, man. But other than that, franchise, my guy, as always, always awesome sitting here talking shit with you. The people, I'm glad y'all all showed up, man. Joseph, then we got Kylie, I think it was, man. Leo, of course, always, man. We appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in, saying something to us. We thank y'all. We'll try to have a review for y'all, not too late. Something we'll just try to go over and talk about what happened tomorrow. Most definitely we'll see y'all Friday. Saturday, I got some big things going on Saturday. May not have a review show for y'all. We may have Rampage and Dynamite review Sunday. So just to give y'all a heads up on that. But most definitely we gonna have something for y'all for Friday, man, with that first night, official night. Hopefully, as long as nobody gets held over in Saudi Arabia and NXT got to come show up again, we'll definitely talk about the first night, the first official night for all the new SmackDown roster moving forward. But other than that, franchise man, send us home, my brother. Send us home.
All right, man. It's the franchise of the GOW, man. He's too cold, man. And that's the end of our review, man. Oh, this is shooting from the hip, ain't it, man? Oh, damn, man. Bye-bye, man.